Hey dude.
Yo, what's up?
So I've been looking at Flight Radar 24 around the area, and there's a bunch of really cool planes, and I was thinking maybe you should join.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Our first museum piece of the day, we have an IFL Group Boeing 727-2S2F ARE. S2 is the airline indicator for FedEx, A is for advanced with upgraded engines and avionics, with RE being a second re-engine to the JT8D-217 engine and adding hush kits, taking the name of Super 27 and gaining its own type code of R722. From what information I could gather, thank you ChatGPT, she was delivered to FedEx on June 12, 1984 under the registration November 215 Foxtrot Echo until FedEx started phasing the 727 out from 2007 to 2013. Information is sparse when 215 was sold, but an airworthiness certificate was issued for the new registration November 215 Whiskey Echo on November 21, 2011 and is currently operated by IFL Group. Now, information is really sparse, but I saw this plane flying on Flight Radar a few days later, but of course, forgot to take a screenshot, so this is all the information I have. November 170 Papa Charlie is a BAE Jetstream 31 in deep storage. The Jetstream 31 is a small regional turboprop made for short hops to small spoke airports. One of the many different types of aircraft made in the 80s that fit the 19-seat rule. 19 seats is the maximum seats allowed when there is no cabin crew, just like my Metroliner flight, except that the Metroliner had half the seats taken out. As far as operators for this aircraft, US Air operated this aircraft when it was first built. It is unclear when the aircraft was handed over to East Coast Flight Services, which is a charter and leasing operator. As of now, she is listed on Jet VIP, which is a private jet rental, as available for rent, but judging by the looks, I highly doubt that. November 487 Uniform Echo is a Jetstream Super 31, otherwise known as a Jetstream 32, delivered on September 11, 1990 to West Air Commuter Airlines under the United Express branding. She flew short hops all across America for 10 years until British Virgin Island Airways, also known as BVI, took the plane on May 5, 2010. BVI Airways ceased operations back in 2017, with this being one of two aircraft that they operated for their whole period of operation. Between 2016 and 2018, they flew two Avro RJ100s, TOL, Victor Papa Lima Whiskey, which was sold off to Cobham Aviation, and TOL, Victor Papa Lima Oscar Sierra, which was sold to Neptune Aviation Services. Right now, she sits in deep storage waiting for sunny skies and tailwinds. First Douglas of the day, we have a beautiful DC-930 TOL X-Ray Alpha Uniform Quebec Tango, originally delivered to Overseas National Airways, otherwise known as ONA, on December of 1967, TOL November 933 Foxtrot, and named Calypso Queen. ONA was a supplemental charter carrier from 1963 to 1978. They operated two 747-100s, two 747-200s, 5 DC-820s, 15 DC-830s, 7 DC-850s, 25 DC-860 and 70 series, 13 Lockheed L118 Electras, 9 DC-930s, and 5 DC-1030s. She was sold to Evergreen International Airlines in October of 1976. Evergreen International Airlines was a charter and cargo airline. Fleet comprising of 14 747-100s, 9 747-200s, 8 747-400s, 2 757-200s, 2 DC-830s, 3 DC-850s, 9 DC-860 and 70 series, 8 Lockheed L118 Electras, 2 DC-910s, and 13 DC-930s. She was sold to Airborne Express on July of 1981 and completed a cargo conversion and re-registered to November 905 Alpha X-Ray. The company was rebranded to ABX Air and still flies today. She was then sold to Dynamic Aviation on July of 2009 under the same tail and operated for the Department of Defense. In March of 2012, she was sold to Frontera Flight Holdings, which is an aircraft leasing company, before being sold to Aeronaves TSM 2 months later. She now flies charter cargo flights wherever it is needed, and she is a whopping 58.1 years old. She was getting ready for a flight down to Satya with a total flight time of 3 hours and 43 minutes. Next up, we have X-Ray Alpha Uniform Zulu Victor, a beautiful McDonnell Douglas MD-83 SF, originally delivered to American Airlines on July 28, 1992. After being taken by Frontera Flight Holdings and converted to a freighter, she was leased out to Aeronaves TSM on December 1st, 2017. She is 33.3 years old and also was getting ready to fly to Saltillo with a flight time of 3 hours and 27 minutes. Next, peeking out behind Uniform Zulu Victor is X-Ray Alpha Uniform Zulu Charlie. It is an MD-82 delivered to American Airlines on October 23, 1990 and was in service until August 21, 2015 when Frontera Flight Holdings took the aircraft before being converted to a cargo plane and leased out to Aeronaves TSM on April 11, 2017. She is 35.2 years old and is also going to Saltillo with a flight time of 3 hours and 29 minutes. Our first CRJ-200 of the day, X-Ray Alpha Victor Bravo Foxtrot, is a CRJ-200 SF, originally delivered to Atlantic Coast Airlines, operating for United Express on December 9, 1999, before being transferred to Independence Air on August 4, 2004, before joining Continental Express with Chautauqua Airlines until February 13, 2010, when she was sold to Air Uganda, taking the tail 5 X-Ray Uniform Golf Echo. Air Uganda was a privately owned airline based in, you guessed it, Kenya. Just kidding. They had a short history of operation between November 15, 2007 to July 17, 2014. Air Uganda had a fleet of 2 CRJ-100s, 3 CRJ-200s, 2 DC-930s, and 3 MD-87s. She was sold off to GECAS or GE Capital Aviation Services with an interim registration of November 872 Tango Mike on November 20, 2015, before being transferred to Frontera Flight Holdings on May 3, 2016, where she underwent a freighter conversion before being leased to Aeronaves TSM on May 4, 2018. She is 26.1 years old and is not going anywhere fast. Next is a CRJ-200. Hiding behind the first is X-Ray Alpha Tango Romeo Quebec, originally delivered to J-Air on March 15, 2001. J-Air is a regional subsidiary of Japan Airlines until November 9, 2016, where she was sold to Southern Aircraft Consultancy with an interim registration of November 484 Romeo Hotel until she was sold to Frontera Flight Holdings and converted to a freighter. She was then leased to Aeronaves TSM on May 20, 2020. She is 24.8 years old and is also going to Saltillo with a total time of 3 hours and 34 minutes. Our next mad dog of the day is this beautiful MD-83 SF, originally delivered to Guinness Pete Aviation under the registration Echo India Charlie Bravo Zulu, which is an aircraft leasing company. On August 16, 1991, she was leased to Avianca Colombia and served there until Ameristar took her up on April 13, 2011. She was sold to Frontera Flight Holdings, where she was converted to a freighter and leased to Aeronaves TSM on February 1, 2021. She is 34.4 years old and she had just landed from Laredo with a flight time of 2 hours and 42 minutes. This cute little plane here is my first ever de Havilland Canada DHC-8-102, originally delivered to Pennsylvania Airlines under the registration November 812 Echo X-Ray. Its base was Harrisonburg International and operated by US Air Express. I'll just name off the different subsidiary airlines she operated for. Allegheny Commuter Airlines for US Air Express and merged into US Airways Express, Piedmont Airlines for US Airways Express, and American Eagle until November 16, 2017, where she was sold to Avmax Group, a leasing company, before being sold to Frontera Flight Holdings, where Aeroservicios de la Costa on December 2, 2024, probably under the Aeronaves TSM brand since they share liveries. This is not a freighter, and she recently came in from Shreveport with a flight time of 2 hours and 51 minutes. That is the last plane we saw at Toledo Express, and now we travel to Detroit Willow Run Airport for more, where we find our first plane. November 837 Uniform Sierra is a stunning McDonnell Douglas MD-88 soaking in the afternoon sun. She was originally delivered to Delta Airlines on April 17, 1991 with the registration November 976 Delta Lima. She was originally stored due to the COVID pandemic and when Delta decided to phase out the MD-80 and 90s out. It was converted to a freighter and sold to USA Jet under the registration November 837 Uniform Sierra. She is 34.7 years old and is getting ready for a flight down to Laredo, with a total time of 3 hours and 20 minutes. Another MD-88 nearby is November 842 Uniform Sierra getting some work done. She was originally delivered to Delta Airlines on April 10, 1992, with the registration November 903 Delta Echo. She flew until June of 2020 when she was turned into a freighter and USA Jet rescued her. She is 33.7 years old and is staying here for a little while. Next is a beautiful MD-83 with the registration November 831 Uniform Sierra, originally delivered to, you guessed it, Aero Cancun on October 30th, 1989, registered Foxtrot, Oscar Delta Tango November, and re-registered to Victor Romeo, Bravo Mike Juliet. Aero Cancun was a defunct charter airline based in Cancun and had a small fleet of 1 A300-600, 2 A310-300s, 1 DC-1010, and 5 MD-83s. She was sold to Private Jet Expeditions on January 12, 1993, which was a luxury charter airline based in America. She was quickly sold off to Oasis International Airlines under the tail Echo Charlie Foxtrot Victor X-Ray. Oasis International was a charter airline based in Spain. She was then sold to Spanair on March 16, 1996 with the tail Echo Charlie Golf Golf Victor until May 6, 2009, where GECAS took the plane until USA Jet bought it. She is 36.2 years old and just came in from Indianapolis with a total time of just 41 minutes. Next is an Aeronaves TSM MD-83 SF delivered originally to American Airlines on June 30th, 1992 with the tail November 597 Alpha Alpha and stayed with American until October 25th, 2016, where Frontier Flight Holdings took her over and leased out to Aeronaves TSM on June 6, 2017. She is 33.4 years old and is spending the day out on the tired field. On the other side of the airport, we have a Sierra America Corporation Boeing 737-205 Advance with the registration November 465 Tango Whiskey, originally delivered to Brethren's South America and Far East on Norway on May 6, 1986, registered Lima November Sierra Uniform. She was then sold to VASP or Vicao Area Sao Paulo on November 5, 1991, until she was sold to ConocoPhillips on June 29, 1993, with the tail November 736 Bravo Papa. Finally, she was sold to Sierra America Corporation on August 29, 2013. She is 39.6 years old and has been stored here since November 4, 2021. Judging by the lopsidedness of only having one engine, it's sad to say that I don't think she will see the skies again. But who knows what life can do. Next is a plane type that I've been chasing for a while, a DC-9-10. These things are becoming so rare that only 2 of them are registered in the US, with 6 others being with Aeronaves TSM, all of which that are parked in Saltillo. So far, I've caught November 784 Tango Whiskey, which is parked for maintenance, and 785 Tango Whiskey, which is still stored at Austin after the incident I covered a few months back. I still need to catch 783 Tango Whiskey before my life is complete. Anyways, 782 Tango Whiskey was originally delivered to Continental Airlines in this absolutely beautiful, now very old paint scheme back in March 6, 1967 with the registration November 8901. It was a DC-915RC, meaning rapid change. You could easily change it from a passenger aircraft to a freighter aircraft, depending on the demand. November 8901 was the first DC-915RC to be delivered to Continental Airlines. She was then sold to Air Canada with registration Charlie Foxtrot Tango Oscar November on April 11, 1972. She was then sold to Air Florida on June 9, 1977 with the tail November 29 Alpha Foxtrot. She was leased out to Cayman Airways of the Cayman Islands on December 1, 1977, until Air Florida took her back on July 29, 1978. She was then sold to Ross Aviation on July 29, 1979, and operated for the Department of Energy. She was then sold to Sierra America Corporation and re-registered to her current tail after being transferred to Ameristar. She is a whopping 58.9 years old and is somehow, maybe from pure spite, still flying charter cargo all across America. She has been given a big breather here at Willow Run just in time for the busy holiday charter cargo season.
Wow, that's insane.
Now, getting this was quite difficult. I had to consult ChatGPT to give me historical data. She was originally delivered to American Airlines under the registration November 713 Alpha Alpha. I do not have a good idea on when she was made, but Flight Radar says she was made in 1981, making her 44 years old. In December of 2000, she was converted to a freighter and joined Capital Cargo International Airlines with the same tail number. I cannot find how long she has been with USA Jet, but we all know that it is in USA Jet colors. Today, she is resting her wings and preparing herself for the busy season. Our last plane overanalyzing for this video is X-Ray Alpha Tango Bravo Charlie, a stunning MD-83 SF, originally delivered to Guinness Pete Aviation on September 27, 1991, before releasing right out to Avianca Colombia on April 22, 1992. She stayed flying with Avianca in the tail Echo India Charlie Delta Yankee before being sold to Jet Midwest, a leasing company, on December 17, 2010. On July 18, 2013, she was leased out to Air Caucasus of Georgia until December 5, 2014, until being sold to Frontier Flight Holdings, converting to a cargo and being leased out to Aeronaves TSM. She's 34.4 years old and is taking the day to dust off her wings and get ready for her next adventure. Now, before I end off this video, we also walked around this glorious B-52, so please enjoy the scenic view. Thank you so much for watching to the end. This was a joy to put together. Shout out to Alex Belser for making this video possible. That's all from me, and I will see you in the skies.